Hey everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching today. So I've revisited the flip flap card and I've made a 6x6 version. So if you've seen these ones here, this is the 5x7 flip flap card. And basically what it does is you pull the tab and this piece flips out. It's perfect for a gift card. With this one here, pull the tab and this lovely image, and then that big sentiment, it's birthday o'clock, the big hand is on gin. This is going to one of my best friends. I know she's going to absolutely adore this card. And then inside you've got space to write your message, or if you want, you know, you could pop a gift card here or write your message there, and you could just close this off so it's a tenfold. You could put a little stopper in there if you wanted to. This one's going to go into a bigger envelope because I've overhung my sentiment. I just thought it looked a little bit different, and I really like that, just the way it looks. And then I've got a couple of little embellishments there, lots of dimension. This is going to be going into one of my box envelopes, or it will go into a bouncy envelope, so it's easy for you to be able to post. And I hope you enjoy the tutorial. So let's get started. So first of all, you want to cut yourself your card blank. So it could be a shop bought 6x6. I like to cut mine myself so they are a true 6x6, because a lot of the shop bought ones tend to be a little bit smaller. So this is cut from a piece of 12x12, so this is 12x6, and along that 12-inch side just score it 6 inches and fold that one in half, and you've got your card blank. I've then got this purple piece which is going to be my mat layer, which is 5 3/4 squared, so I'm going to stick that one on in a moment. And then we want these pieces here. So this is for the case. Now I've already cut away the corners here, but it's easy for you to understand. So this is 4.5 by 6.5. Along the 6.5 side, you want to score it 1/2 inch and 6 inches. Then pop it on the short side, and you want to score at 4, but just down to the score line. So I would have just scored there. You don't want to score all the way through this. And then if you flip it and just score again at 4, just down to that score line. You then want to cut away the corners like I have, and then I just cut a wedge off of all of the corners here. So you've got your tabs, because this is going to fold in, and then that's going to be the slope that the card pop-up piece will be able to slide on. Fingers crossed. Okay, so that's what you want to do. So just remove the corner squares, and I removed the whole score lines as well when I cut them away. You can see there's no score lines visible on any of those pieces. To go on top of that, you want a piece of 4 by 5.5. It's going to be this way. We'll add glue to these two pieces when we get to that part, and that's going to go over the top there. Then you want this piece here for the roller. This is 2 3/4 by 4. Along the 2 3/4 side, you want to score at 1/2 inch and at 2 1/4. And then you want to score every track in between. So if I hold that up, you can see all of those score lines. Now you don't have to burnish all of these, but you do want to now put a nice curve into this piece. And then we just need to burnish the first and last score line, so just those 1/2 inch sections. You want this to have a really nice rolling movement. That's how it's going to work inside the card. So just make sure it moves like that quite nicely, and just fold these, you know, both ways, just so the fibers break down a little bit and it moves nicely. And then I've got this piece here, which is what's going to pop out. So this is that longer panel. So this is 8 1/4 by 5. And along that 8 1/4 side, you want to score at 3 3/4. Fold and burnish. And then you can fold that one in half. This one's going to be shorter. And then this one's going to be what slightly shows. And we'll have our little pull tab attached to that piece. So I've got some more mats and layers to talk through, but we'll go through that in a moment. I'm going to stick that purple piece down now onto my card blank. So with this piece here, I forgot to give you another score line. You want to score at 3/8 of an inch. So you scored at 1/2 and at 6, but you actually want to score at 3/8 and at 6 1/8. So just the track after the 6 and the track before the 1/2. We need to give it a little bit of room, a little bit of height on the side there. So now when I fold that one, you'll see that we have that little wrap piece there, and that's going to allow everything to be able to slide in. Just again, like I did with the 5x7. So we just need to add that in there. Okay, so you should now have them fold over, so you have that effect. Next, you want your roller, and we've got this piece here. You want to make sure that the short side is facing up. and we're going to stick this one, half of it, into this bit here. So if you add your glue down one of the sides, it doesn't matter which one, like so. And then I'm going to lift this. This has got the glue, so I'm lifting it up. Make sure you've got this in this orientation, so you've got the tab and this larger bit, you know, down here. This 1/2 inch piece we want to hang over the edge here. So you can see, hang it over the edge. Make sure you've got an equal amount, the top and bottom, so you're just roughly in the middle, and then lay it down so it sticks into this part here. Just give that a minute to dry. And if you also just fold it over, you might pull it up a bit, but you kind of want it to do that because that means we've got it exactly where we need it. So just give that a minute to dry. Okay, then if you fold it over, you've got this piece now hanging out. You next want to add your glue onto this tab, so the other 1/2 inch end, like so. And then with this one, again, make sure the short side's facing up. You're now going to flip it over. You've got the fold here, and you're going to now stick this one over that glue. So it's going to line up with this piece here, and just make sure you've got a similar amount. If I hold it up, see I've got there, and just make sure you've got the same amount overhanging here, but just make sure that's, you know, completely stuck down. You can open it up like that, but just make sure that's all secure. And then if you open it up, and if you go to now close this, it's going to naturally now start to push its way inside, you see. Then if you just fold it back on itself, so it's on that 1/2 inch, again, that score line, and you want to just get it used to rolling in like that. Okay, next we can add glue to this end here, and you just want to fold that in so it just lines up with that end. And you should have that case, you can see it's all open there, which is what you want. Just make sure again this end's nice and parallel. Okay, once you're happy it's all dry, you should be able to quite easily push that in, and it will just hide that top one, but you'll see this overhangs, and then once this is secure it'll be easier, but if you just then open it, you'll see it flips out. Okay, so then we can take our card blank again. Now mine's going to be a top folding tent fold, so if you fold it all over like that, this back piece now you can stick onto here. You want to stick it over to the left hand side. So I'm going to stick it over this side here, and just make sure I've got the same purple border along the top and the bottom and on the side here. Again, just going to give that a moment to dry. And you can just practice now, you know, opening and closing that, but make sure when you close it, you should be able to feel where that kind of fold is. Just really burnish that. We're going to put our, you know, decoration on this, so don't worry if you end up kind of, you know, embossing a line there, because I can see it, but just make sure that's completely secure. But that seems to have a much smoother movement to it now from the 5x7 ones, so I think this is how I will do them in future. It flows so nicely. It's really, really easy. So now we can start decorating. So I've got this one here, which is going to go onto the front of this piece, and that measures, well, I drop everything down by 1/4 inch increments. So this one here is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and then I've stamped and coloured my images. So this is the one that's going to go on the front. These are so much fun, I absolutely adore them. So this is 3 1/2 by 5, and that one's going to go on the top. So I'll get those stuck down first, and then my sentiment is going to go down in this corner and just slightly overhang. It is big, but it's a big birthday, and I just loved this circle one here. You can't have anything overhanging this side because this mechanism needs to work. So I'm going to have it. I'm going to make a slightly bigger envelope for this, but I think it'll look quite nice overhanging there. those stuck down. So now I'm going to open this up, and then I've got this piece which is going to go in this side here, and this one is going to go in here. I'm not bothered decorating the front side here because you just don't see it, or you see it for like a second, so I'm not going to worry, but you can do. It'd be the same size as this piece here. So this is 3.5 by 4 3/4, and then this one here is 4 1/4 by 4 3/4. So I'm just going to stick these two down first. Then I've got this piece which is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and that's going to go on top on this side here. And I've heat embossed this one here to go in this section. Now I have done it slightly more to the left because I don't want you to see any of this when it over, you know, this piece hangs out. So just bear that in mind. You'll see in a minute what I mean. So that's 4 by 4 1/2, and that's going to stick like so. So I'll get that one down next. So now when I push that in, you can see you don't see any of the writing. So just go slightly off to the left with that one. Now, one thing I've thought about again, I seem to just change this style every time I make it, but you can see this piece underneath, which isn't a bad thing. It looks nice. I'm not worried about it, but you could easily just cut down another 1/4 inch. So where I told you to score down to that score line, just that little 1/2 inch, if you come down another 1/4 at both ends and then cut the corner away, that piece will be just slightly hidden at the top and the bottom. So that's the next thing I'll change when I do it again. So you'll see another one later on. Then I've just cut this one here. This is just a 1 inch punch, and I've just stamped the word pull, and that's going to stick underneath this one just like so, just like the other one. So you've got plenty of room there to be able to pull that all out. And then I think I'm going to have this one now up here overhanging. Like I said, I'm going to pop this into a bigger envelope, it's fine. And then I'm going to have this one kind of that like that, but it needs to not overhang. It's gonna have to come a little bit like that, but I think that looks quite nice. I might frame that with the same purple, but I think once it's popped up on some foam it's going to look fine. But I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do a matte and layer for inside, so I've got my space to write my message. And there's the finished card. Thoroughly pleased with this one. And then inside you've got your It's Birthday Clock. The big hand is on Gin. My friend loves her gin, so she's going to thoroughly enjoy this card. And it just moves so nice now. It's got a really nice kind of free-flowing movement. And then inside, I've got the matte and layer there with the To a Lovely Friend on your special day, wishing you happiness in every way. So this is going to go in a bigger envelope, or it go in my 7x7 because I've got that overhanging, but otherwise it'll just fit in a normal 6x6 box or one of the DIY cards. Added a few embellishments there. When I do the next card, I'm going to revisit this again in about 3 weeks' time. I'm going to make this bigger. I think we could actually go across here another 1/2 inch because you've got 1/2 inch here, but I always like to make sure you've got enough room to pull this out. You know, it just needs that kind of little bit of clearance, but that there definitely works. Having that kind of extra piece for it to slide in, and it doesn't catch on anything, but I'm just going to bring that down as well so it's hidden. There you have it. So I hope you like the 6x6 version, and you're able to use what I've done here on the 5x7 size if you want to change it so it's like this. And then I know lots of you will be able to just cut that bit down as well. Lots of ways to use this card for many occasions, and I think it's a great way to show off your stamped images, just like this one here. So as always, thank you for watching. I will share as much of the product that I've used in the description box below. I'll link up the 5x7 here, even though it would have been linked at the beginning. And I'll also have a few other like kinetic flip cards that you might want to watch next as well. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.